You have questions, we have answers. This is Jane Miller.
And this is Ken Miller. Welcome to our show, all about real estate with Ken and Jane. And today, Jane, we do have a lot of answers because we have with us a guest. Our guest today is Ronnie Lee. She's the executive officer of the East Brunswick Regional Chamber of Commerce and a figurehead in East Brunswick.
Yeah, Ronnie.
Big welcome to the show.
Yes,
Thank you,
yes.
Jane and Ken Mueller, for welcoming to this wonderful opportunity to showcase East Brunswick and recreation and parks and sports, as we love Fox Sports. So this is perfect.
That's right.
Yeah, the Fox Sports always broadcast Rutgers game and basketball. There's a lot of sport. Yeah,
we're not the number one duo in Fox Sports. That I think goes to Tom
Not
Brady,
yet.
and but we're working our way up the ladder. We're the juniors still on the pace scale. You know?
Well,
so
Jane and Ken are always going to be number one in East Brunswick.
We are number one East Brunswick on the Fox show because we are the only one here so far.
Yeah.
Maybe we have competitors we won't be anymore.
Yeah, that's right. There's no
There's no
broadcast
competition
going on this station for that jurisdiction.
Not yet.
So Ronnie, you're a great volunteer in East Brunswick. So give a brief introduction on some of the volunteer things you're in, and then we're going to break down and talk about all the quality of life things and why that makes East Brunswick, the center of the state, a great place to live.
Ken, before you start, right? Well, our show need to be extended 3 times long because there's a long list Ronnie has been doing, helping, contributing.
Yeah, that's
to
why I
East
said give a
Brunswick.
brief synopsis because otherwise we could spend the whole 30 minutes talking about all the committees you're on, all the awards you've won. But we want to get into the tennis and the
a lot of hard work and contribution to the town.
So just briefly, what's your role with the chamber and what are some of the committees you're on?
Obviously, I know Jane and Ken from East Brunswick Regional Chamber of Commerce. Thank you for all your support and also being a sponsor for East Brunswick Day coming up in October, the first Sunday of October. So come out to East Brunswick. Also with our President's Gala. Thank you for your sponsorship. I'm the Executive Vice President, and previously I was the secretary, but also the chair of the Ambassador Membership Committee. So consequently, bringing in new members to grow our organization has been really a productive process when we have community outreach to Middlesex County Regional Chamber of Commerce and just trying to unify. So even though in business, my career path has been in rehab medicine. So I've been tangenting in so many pivotal ways. And then when you talk about sports, during the time that I was commuting to New York City in healthcare, many times in the evenings or weekends, I would find a time to play tennis. And ultimately, that was when our courts needed a little bit of renovation and repair, and some of the tennis colleagues or friends or athletic champions that I call everyone a champion because you want to be a positive role model. And that stems from being in rehab medicine. You always try to be uplifting. So when you say a cheerleader, I know you can't imagine me being a cheerleader in the hospital, but it is the exciting part of putting positive reinforcement. I went to town council and advocated on behalf of all the tennis players. And certainly, I guess that time that it was videoed, and Mike Reisner was our director of recreation and parks, and the next day he had contacted me. And I said, I have no idea what our community is like, nor an advisory board, but he gave me an opportunity, and then since then I took it seriously to say I have to give back to my community. We naturally think about raising our children, moving to East Brunswick for the public school, Blue Ribbon, awards, academics, but we don't really think about the recreation and parks. But that creates such a mental health, physical health, and advocacy that I was doing more for adults, but also with our children. We enroll them in the summer camps and summer sports and active all year round. So why not the adults? So as much as now the importance of mental health, that's what tennis is. You know, everybody can compete. I did compete with the United States Tennis Associations and leagues and brought gatherings of so many different champions of different clubs, different sites. And yes, I went to nationals. So different aspects of tennis. But we are approaching tennis with the U.S. Open coming up in New York City, and you'll have a lot of international players, and especially Free Week. So appreciate this opportunity to promote tennis. It's a healthy sport.
Yeah. So
I saw the video.
So I saw a lot of your videos.
You and the champion to champion video.
They said no. I think the video basically said that Ronnie Lee and tennis are synonymous in East Brunswick. That was a proclamation you got. You're being too modest. You got a proclamation from the Mayor Cohen for your commitment to tennis and your dedication. That was the first thing. Let's talk about. We're going to break it all down because there's a lot to talk about with tennis. So let's talk about your tennis award and what that was all about.
So that experience with U.S. Open champion to champion was I was nominated, but you have such a pool of national nominations, right? Who would be picked from the USTA, United States Tennis Association. And surprisingly, it was me. But I did not know who would be the champion to interview me. I thought it was Roger Federer.
And I couldn't believe that I saw that video too, and she was interviewed by
Novak
Djokovic, and it was like you guys knew each other. It was like a casual interview. He's like, "Hey, Ronnie, what's up?" And it was so.
And his Chinese is pretty good.
No, and he's pretty. Yeah, and actually, I'm going to test you on the video because he told you how to say thank you in his language, and you.
In Serbian,
right?
It's Kavala.
Kavala, yeah.
And then in Mandarin Chinese, I said, "Well, we say shishya." Right? And so that's the banter.
Yeah,
that's
so
good.
that was so cool.
So the importance of international, our global community. We have to be saying thank you.
Yeah, but thank you for putting East Brunswick on the international map. So not only the center of New Jersey, we're in the national map. So people know East Brunswick. So.
Yeah, like you said, the school motto for East Brunswick High School is academics, athletics, and the arts. So athletics is a prime reason why, for any quality of life, why people choose a community to live in, and East Brunswick is no exception to that.
And I'm sure Jane and I, in our upbringing, we never had the sports in our upbringing.
Or the art.
Or the arts. Because it's
unfortunately.
purely academics.
Yeah.
Study, you know.
Yep.
And
my
work
mom
hard.
and your mom probably from the same...
called Asian Tiger Mom, right?
Yeah. Like if you get 99, your mom said, 99? Right. Why 99? Is anybody get 100? Yeah. If you say yes, what's wrong with you? If you say nobody get 100, I'm the highest 99. She said 1 mark. You couldn't make it full.
So it's a different.
You're grounded. Either way, you're grounded for a week.
Whereas in Western upbringing, it's always a positive reward.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, you tried your best. That's great. That's the effort. Whereas in Asian culture, you're also reprimanded.
Yeah. You try your best. Not good enough.
And that carried over even to the Olympics. Sadly, I noticed that there were some gymnasts in prior Olympics that didn't get the gold medal. And they got maybe the silver or the bronze. I forget which sport was, gymnastics, and the coach ended up like hitting the person because they were upset, and so that's kind of the negative. That's an exclusive negative reinforcement.
Yeah, there was a Chinese tennis player. I think she was world champion years back. She was playing in some kind of competition, and she didn't listen to the coach because she wanted to try her own thing, obviously, and she lost it. And during the ceremony, I think she got a silver or bronze, and then her coach slapped her in front of the ceremony. Yeah. Everybody watched it, and then she left since changed her coach, and she became the champion in women tennis. Yeah, so that's the story.
Yeah,
different culture.
Different culture, different ways of training, different ways of reinforcement. But you have to be said that a lot of the Chinese gymnasts and the divers excel. And like, look at the last Olympics, the last Summer Olympics. Just the dedication. So there's
But we kind of in between, right? We try to balance that, demanding the excellence from our children, but at the same time we use the positive reinforcement.
Yeah.
Rather than just ground them like we ground.
Well, I haven't grounded. I just, say, tell me what were the strengths, what were the weaknesses, what could we improve?
And look to improve.
And you want to stay happy, right? The checklist of 1, 2, 3, right? We know there are cultural families who have that approach, and, it may not work well. You just want to have good, positive mental health. I think it's very important in today's world, right? I mean, the very challenging academically, very competition among the children, and the art and the sport
it's really relaxed them.
Yes.
And, build a friendship. I know our daughter just went through the high school, right? I mean, her marching band and her art, and that's really means a lot.
Yeah,
to
it's
her.
more than just learning how to play
Yes.
the instrument and playing the instrument and performing. It's the bonding with the peers,
The camaraderie is so essential.
Going to the games, just that whole camaraderie, exactly. The
And you
camaraderie.
laugh.
And
Yeah, friendship.
when the band
Support.
teacher yells at you if you mess up, you're all in it together, and you just kind of go through it, and you toughen it out, and it builds character, right?
That's right. That's
Yeah.
right. Let's go back to Ronnie.
Yeah, so let's talk more about the tennis. There's so much to cover with the tennis. Upgraded tennis facilities. Please talk about the great upgraded tennis facilities that you helped bring to East Brunswick.
So initially, like I said, in 2017, when I was advocating, it was bicentennial parks. There we had 4 asphalt courts, and it hadn't been repaired. You had cracks, you had frogs coming out. So I kiddingly said, we have a frog as a mascot, as opposed to the East Brunswick Bears, right? But that advocacy brought in a whole nother renovation, which is great. Now, subsequently, we are currently spending $700,000 for 2 parks. Lenape Park, which is in the south end of East Brunswick, and we're also putting $350,000 for 2 tennis courts with pickleball overlay lines to expand that sport as well, and adaptive playground for our special needs right at that site. So that's a huge investment of East Brunswick. And on the north side, we have Pine Ridge Parks, which also has 2 tennis courts with pickleball overlay, 2 concrete courts, because they last longer. During the time of Lenape courts in 2016, it was a soft cushion like the East Brunswick High School, and it did not last. And consequently, that's why when we see renovations of investment from East Brunswick with Mayor Brad Cohen, our Township Council, it's so vital to have legislation, the town support, not only the players, but every organization, so that we can benefit from these recreation improvements. And because of that, with USTA, there are grants available, and they offered another grant for our community park, which is another 2 tennis courts strictly for tennis, that they only wanted to give financial support there. But we have many tennis courts for our high school students to compete. Our youth tennis program was developed, which is a part of our coalition of athletic organizations, to teach young people and adults. And we just try to find ways to get people moving. Mm-hmm. So I'm very proud of the tennis support in the past decade.
Yeah.
Wow.
That is so cool. Yeah, that's great. Well, we got a lot more to cover. We're just going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back after these messages. Okay, welcome back to our show. So, Ronnie, let's continue talking about all the great tennis programs offered in East Brunswick. I want to switch now to talk about tennis recycling. That's something that I learned, and it was quite interesting to learn about the recycling effort of the tennis balls. Please talk about that.
So initially, we have so much tennis balls. I used to give out at Halloween in my neighborhood block candy and a tennis ball. So all the kids or the families may have a pet, so they used to love it. They're like, what a treat. Let's go to that tennis lady's house, right? Yeah. And the funny part is, maybe I was walking in the park with my son's puppy, Shiba Inu, and then here's another Shiba Inu owner. And she's, I remember this house that have given me tennis balls. But that was 20 years ago. So can you imagine a resident, and she was in the healthcare field, and I said, tennis lady giving a ball? That was me, right? So it's kind of interesting when you're staying in your neighborhood, but you build relationships and people recognize you and say, we got to go to that house. So besides that, I used to have private practice in East Brunswick, and I was always giving rewards of tennis balls to my patients. And it just became a thing. And because of sustainability, Recycle Balls is a organization that was initially in Vermont. They got too large and now relocated to West Virginia. So if you can imagine, when we started collecting 10,000, which is what the proclamation back in 2019, when we opened up Country Lane tennis courts, now we're up at 88,000 tennis balls saved from East Brunswick landfill. Yeah. We send out, each box holds about 200. And of course, great collaboration with East Brunswick Racquet Club, who are now our USTA 2025 tennis outstanding facility award recipient that they will get their honor at U.S. Open.
So that's a national award.
It's a national award.
East Brunswick Racket Club, right? In East Brunswick
Racket Club on the north.
That's where our daughter trained when she was from the age of about 6. We started there, and then she worked right through that.
East Brunswick!
Yeah, she's a product, and she played a lot of tennis matches there. Then she even went on the tour and played in that competitively. So it was quite fun to watch her, but that
I think the most important thing, right? Even though later on she gave up the tennis, but I think the most important thing is that develop her character. That's most important.
Losing, building the character. They all cry when they first lose because they go through that. But it's great character building. And
it's a team, right? Together, everyone achieves more. Collaboration. It sets you off for life. So with the East Brunswick Racket Club and then the Brunswick Hills Tennis Center on the south end, with East Brunswick being only a 5-mile radius, to have 2 private tennis courts is phenomenal.
Yes.
What we trained in young people to adults, so every level, every hour. And I used to host a lot of Saturday teams at 6 to 8 a.m. on a Saturday morning, and people would say, why would they come and play so early? I had commuters from Toms River, Trenton, because when you make a competitive match and you make breakfast of champions, I always brought food, right? You know how that is, right? But healthy treats.
Sure.
It makes the camaraderie. So when USTA recognized that I was trying to connect people of different clubs and make holiday parties, and I bring it out there and to different communities. And it's really great to be recognized. USTA did honor me with Volunteer of the Year as well, because that was also a surprise nomination. But I'll take it just to help promote East Brunswick. And what better way for East Brunswick to be shining, not only with a club to be honored, East Brunswick Racket Club, but for USTA chairman of the board to send out an invite to me for a presidential suite at the U.S. Open,
and that's
August
coming up,
20th.
Right? So that's coming up in 3 days.
It's coming up in 3 weeks, right? And so in that sense, I had to offer to our mayor, Brad Cohen, an opportunity to attend.
And is he attending too?
What is the answer?
Of course.
He has patience too, right? But I didn't want to, impose on him. But my question to him, and certainly we had the market fair that day.
Yes.
And his family, Dr. Penny Cohen, said, of course he should go. But he had to check his schedule and his family, and he did say yes. So
great.
It will be wonderful for me to showcase USTA, the president, the chairman of the board, who our mayor of East Brunswick, the center of New Jersey, has sponsored and promoted tennis with the investment, right? Return of investment is huge because we also have champions of tennis, the GMCCs, right? The Greater Middlesex County award-winning high school students. But one of our semi-finalists in boys tennis was at Wimbledon. And that was part of our East Brunswick youth tennis.
That he made it to the Wimbledon.
Yes.
He was able to qualify for Wimbledon.
We are expanding, but also in USTA, Dale Caldwell was the former president, and now he's, partnering as a lieutenant governor-elect if he was Mikey Sherrill. So, tennis can be in all platforms.
Hey, and the owner, I believe she's still the owner, her and her husband.
Katerina Ryan.
She was like a number 10 rated female at the time. I think she competed against Steffi Graf.
Yes.
And, she was quite the tennis player. So
their sons are in hockey, which is coming up right next door, right? Yeah. Right next to East Brunswick Racket Club.
So it's really going to be the one-stop shop when we have 2 tennis facilities, an ice rink, going to have some, quality restaurants, high-quality grocers possibly. So it's a lot of stuff in the horizon.
Redevelopment of Route 18, revitalization, Mayor Cohen, and, of course, all the legacy, the Vermella.
Yep. That's exciting times. That's great. Let's talk also now, a very important program. You have Tennis for Daisy program at Bicentennial Park. So not only do you make tennis available for the entire community, but also the people with special needs. So talk about that.
Because I'm a speech language pathologist, I've worked with special needs and, in education and schools in New York City. So I thought about adaptive tennis, and Love Serving Autism is a established program. So we changed it up to Love Serving Daisy because Daisy was our special needs program. Now we just call it adaptive recreation. So the essence is the collaboration with USTA. This program of Love Serving Autism was based in Florida, and that woman, Lisa, was a speech pathologist. So, of course, we understand that. How do you break it down, make it fun, right? And just don't worry about the diagnosis, but just have fun because every person is unique. So it did pilot, and I brought in the coaches to help me coach while I can navigate. And we brought in augmentative communication picture boards, picture exchange communication, because sometimes you're nonverbal, sometimes you may have other elements. So we try to have volunteers, youth council volunteers, so we integrate a lot of summer programs too. And you found, wow, some of these students enjoyed it so that they would go into my specialty and give back. So the idea is to give back to your community. And you know, as much as I may love this sport, but really I want to provide for others. And that's what makes a community, champions, right?
Champion, you provide for everybody.
We want to have everybody feel that they're a
participate,
champion, right? It's not wearing your accolades of your CV, but it is about saying, thank you for your ACE service. You know, you really strengthen all of us in the community.
Yeah, that's the same with the basketball program is great in East Brunswick. They do the same thing. They provide
Fast
for the
break.
special fast break. Exactly.
Yes.
We had, so that's wonderful, wonderful stuff. So the USTA is coming up. So do you plan on attending multiple sessions?
Well, because the invitation for August 20th from the USTA Eastern, the president of U.S. Open, so why not have that opportunity? I've never been invited before.
Right.
And who's the prediction?
Suite.
Who's going to win?
I have no prediction.
You're not going to go with
stop there because based on your record prediction,
I support everyone.
EB's going to win, right?
I support everyone.
EB, go.
Coco, let's go. Coco grab, right? EB green, right?
Green,
I got
EB
green on
green.
too. And then I volunteer with Author Ash Kids Day. I'm a coach there as well. Every year, I've gone on Saturday to help implement. And you start off mornings, and I bring in a family from East Brunswick because they were in my youth tennis program, and we've been going for the past 5 years, since COVID. So it's a great experience. The World's Fair and the Globe, it's so exciting. But walking around the local courts, and in fact, Palmaris. Right? Palmaris Estefania and Stephen Tarantini. I was talking to them to congratulate them that they are going to be our holiday venue for East Brunswick Regional Chamber of Commerce, our holiday party. See, get you ready, December 12th.
We were there for the charity, for Mayor
Cohen's charity, right? And I loved it.
Yeah,
and then I informed her about U.S. Open. She says, I have tickets to U.S. Open on the 19th, the day before, right? I'm going on the 20th. So I said, I never knew you would be interested in tennis. So now I have more to share. Tennis. Maybe get more people to have a tennis event,
Yeah, absolutely. That's a rocking place. Yeah, they have a lot of fun stuff
Yes,
to
so
do there
hopefully
with the
we
bowling
will
and
go better with Palmaris and the energy of a rocking place and vibes, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Beyond bowling, but
bowling, but they have a lot of games. They have a lot of movies.
So that's why
simulations.
East Brunswick, come to East Brunswick. There's real estate, there's homes, there's entertainment, there's
quality
sports,
of life
arts.
goes hand in hand with real estate. So that's what our show is about, real estate, but you can't have real estate without quality of life.
Absolutely.
Right? That's where people live. They got to have recreational facilities. Now let's switch to another up and rising recreational sport, pickleball. Now, how do you be good? You're good at tennis. You're good at pickleball. I don't know how you could, but you're
pickleball is stand-up ping pong. It's just so much fun.
Yeah. So what's that all about? Are there how many pickleball courts are there right in?
So right now in East Brunswick, we had eliminated one tennis court at Community Park to make 6 dedicated pickleball courts off of Dunham's Corner. It's getting overcrowded, and now we offered like permits or pay membership so that you can get on the courts. But the other pickleball courts are at Country Lane, which are 2 overlay, and that's where I play now because there's so many people at Community Park that I just like my peace and quiet 6 to 8 a.m. in the morning, right?
Yeah.
So it's joyful. It is a stand-up ping pong, badminton, tennis mixture, but again, the essence is not only for seniors, as people believe it is. Every age is just wonderful to have.
Sure. And are there leagues, or is it all just is there competitions with pickleball, or is it just friendly people that are having matches? Is there an organization for pickleball tournaments?
For myself, I'm just recreational.
Just recreation.
But there are many clubs obviously, who are having the opportunities for leagues,
Yeah.
right, just like tennis. But you have to pay to play, and of course, win the money ball if you really want to be going for $1 million, like Andre Agassi.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
But we do have new pickleball clubs opening very close by. I don't know if you want me to share, but hopefully we'll get more in East Brunswick.
And they're all free then, right? It's a free.
Well,
or is
the
it
parks are free, except
right.
when you have to pay the recreation for membership on a Wednesday morning or a Thursday night.
Okay.
And that's all year round, because I also introduced that by developing the pickleball program to say, if clubs are charging, why not? That revenue can be established to give back to recreation. They do pay for a park ranger in order to eliminate the chaos. People won't leave the court, people don't share. So it turns into a controversy.
Yeah.
Even when I was teaching tennis on the pickleball course, because the courts are smaller for the young children. But then because the population grew of pickleball players, we ended up couldn't use those smaller courts. So you just have to negotiate it.
Yeah.
Balance.
Wow.
Balance is everywhere.
Be a
Balance
good
and
neighbor.
Yeah, be a good neighbor and let
Sportsmanship.
opportunity
That's right.
share with the neighbors, right? Well, Ronnie, we are out of time. Time flies when you're having fun, and we are out of time, but we want to thank you so much for coming and being our guest and sharing all the great things in East Brunswick, the center of the state. So until next time, hope everybody enjoyed the show. We'll see you next week.
Thank you.
Thank you. What an honor, Jane and Ken. You are remarkable champions of New Jersey.
Go,
Let alone
Ronnie.
East Brunswick.
Yay.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.